You're watching True Crimes AI. In the early morning hours of February 14, 2000, a 9-year-old girl left her home in Shelby, North Carolina, during a cold rainstorm and vanished without a trace. There were no signs of a struggle, no forced entry, and no explanation that has ever fully made sense. This is the disappearance of Asha Degree. Asha Degree lived with her parents, Harold and Aquila Degree, and her older brother in a quiet, close-knit neighborhood. She was described as shy, well-behaved, and deeply attached to her family. Asha was not known to break rules, sneak out, or act impulsively. She was a fourth-grade student who attended church regularly and followed a structured routine. Friends and family consistently described her as cautious and respectful, not a child who would leave home without reason. There were no known problems at home, no history of abuse, no signs of family conflict. The picture painted by everyone who knew her was of a happy, well-adjusted child who felt safe and loved. This made what happened next all the more baffling and heartbreaking for her family and the entire community. Asha was, by all accounts, the last child anyone would expect to venture out alone in the dead of night in the days leading up to her disappearance. Asha had participated in her first basketball game. Her team lost badly, and while some later speculated the loss affected her emotionally, her family has always maintained that Asha handled it well and showed no signs of distress. On the evening of February 13th, a storm moved through the area, bringing heavy rain and colder than usual temperatures. Due to a power outage earlier that night, the Degree family went to bed around 9 p.m. Everything appeared normal. Asha and her brother shared a room, and there was nothing out of the ordinary in their behavior that evening. The family settled in for the night, completely unaware of the mystery that would soon unfold. The routine of their evening gave no hint of the chaos and confusion that was about to shatter their lives forever. At approximately 2:30 a.m., Asha's father briefly checked on the children. He later stated that he saw both Asha and her brother in their beds, asleep. It was a simple parental act he'd done many times before. But just a few hours later, around 6:30 a.m., Aquila Degree went to wake her children for school and made a terrifying discovery. Asha was gone. Her bed was empty. Her backpack, which she had packed for school the day before, was also missing. The front door was unlocked, though her parents were certain they had locked it. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken windows, no indication of a struggle inside the home. It was as if she had simply vanished into the rainy night, the quiet family. Home had become the center of a chilling and inexplicable mystery. As the search for Asha began, investigators received reports that would fundamentally shape the case. Multiple motorists, driving independently of one another, reported seeing a small figure walking alone along Highway 18 south of Shelby between approximately 3:30 and 4:15 a.m. These were credible witnesses who had no reason to lie. They described a child matching Asha's description, wearing a light-colored outfit, walking bravely against the wind and rain along the dark, desolate highway. One driver, deeply concerned by the sight of a child out alone in such weather, turned his vehicle around to check on her. But as his headlights approached, the small figure ran off the side of the road and disappeared into the dense, nearby woods. These sightings are considered extremely reliable and strongly suggest that Asha left her home on her own. But the biggest question remained: why? Later that morning, a massive search effort began. Local and state police, FBI agents, search dogs, and hundreds of concerned volunteers combed the area where Asha was last seen. Air and ground searches focused on the highway, the nearby woods, and the surrounding neighborhoods. The community response was immediate and overwhelming, with people from all over coming to help find the missing little girl. They searched sheds, barns, and every corner of the rural landscape. Despite the scale and intensity of the search, no physical trace of Asha was found. No clothing, No footprints, no confirmed evidence of what happened after she darted off the road and into the trees. Days turned into weeks, and the trail went cold. The initial hope and energy of the search slowly faded into a grim, lingering uncertainty. 18 months later, in August of 2001, a critical discovery was made, reigniting the investigation. Construction workers in Burke County, approximately 30 miles north of Asha's home, uncovered a black backpack buried along a roadside. The bag was deliberately wrapped in plastic trash bags, a clear attempt to protect it from the elements. It was confirmed to belong to Asha Degree. Inside were personal items that offered a small glimpse into her final known hours, including some of her clothing, school supplies, and candy wrappers. However, one item found inside the bag deepened the mystery. A new Kids on the Block t-shirt that did not belong to Asha and has never been explained. Her family had never seen it before. The way the backpack was buried, so far from her home and carefully concealed, strongly suggested intentional concealment by a third party. This discovery raised even more questions than it answered. Why would a 9-year-old girl leave the safety of her home alone in the middle of a storm? Was she meeting someone she trusted, someone who had convinced her to leave? Did she believe she was going somewhere safe, perhaps on an adventure? And how did her backpack end up miles away from where she was last seen, so carefully wrapped and buried? Investigators believe that Asha was likely lured out of her house by someone she knew and trusted, possibly an adult she had encountered through school, church, or other community connections. They do not believe she left home without a specific reason and a destination in mind. The carefully buried backpack seemed to be a clue left by someone trying to cover their tracks. Several theories have been explored over the years, each attempting to make sense of the fragmented clues. The leading theory involves grooming and luring. In this scenario, someone gained Asha's trust over a period of time and convinced her to leave her home to meet them, possibly promising her something exciting like a secret trip or a special gift. This would explain why she packed her backpack and left willingly. Another theory suggests she encountered opportunistic harm after leaving home for her own unknown reasons. Though this doesn't fully explain why her backpack was found buried so far away and so carefully wrapped. Accidental death, such as succumbing to the elements, has also been considered but remains unlikely given the lack of any physical evidence along her probable route. The wrapped backpack remains the most compelling piece of evidence, strongly suggesting the involvement of a third party who knew exactly what they were doing. More than 25 years later, Asha Degree has never been found. No arrests have ever been made in her case. No suspects have been publicly named. The case remains open and active, with investigators continuing to review tips and re-examine evidence with modern technology. Asha's parents, Harold and Aquila, have never stopped searching for their daughter. They hold an annual walk to keep her memory alive and to plead for answers. They firmly believe that someone out there knows what happened to their little girl and has stayed silent for far too long. Her disappearance remains one of the most disturbing and perplexing unsolved cases in United States history, a story defined by the image of a small child walking alone into the stormy darkness, and a mystery that refuses to fade with time. If you found this case compelling, consider liking the video and subscribing to True Crimes AI to stay updated on new, real true crime cases. Every story matters, and continued attention helps keep these cases alive.